Big Boar Barbecue presents Seven Rivers Racing on KQEG TV with Dan the Voice Deicher, Billy Doc Niles, and Paul the Statman Riker. Brought to you by Big Boar Barbecue, Highway 16 West Salem. Big Boar Barbecue, now that's a mouthful. By Carey Heating and Air Conditioning, your residential specialist, serving the La Crosse area since 1929. Carey Heating and Air Conditioning.
All right, race fans, welcome in Seven Rivers Racing, KQEG TV. This time from the 51st Annual Oktoberfest Race Weekend. I'm Dan Deicher. Along with me is Kevin Ramsell. Kevin, welcome.
Hey, it's great to be back up here for our annual get-together here for Oktoberfest. I think we've been doing this for, 12, 14 years now together?
14 years, yeah.
We're getting old.
And it's been, 6, 7 years since you actually came onto the we used to do the TV show down here.
We used to do the TV show down here, had director's chairs set up and interview drivers. They had a nice sunny day like this. And it's nice to have a nice weather again for Oktoberfest after what we experienced the last few years.
Chuck Deary, the promoter here, said I would much rather deal with dust than mud.
I think
correct. That's like the quote of the weekend.
I think we should get T-shirts made for that too, and plus we don't have to worry about any mud bog races on the quarter mile turns 3 like we had about 4 years ago to see who can big day.
I do miss people swan diving over here in the wet though. We've had that several times.
Exactly. So.
Billy Doc Niles, a little bit under the weather. He'll be out here for Oktoberfest Race Weekend. Matter of fact, he'll be doing a lot of work down here as my pit reporter and Penguin. He's going to be upstairs doing a lot of writing with you. A lot of changes to Oktoberfest this year, but they're all positive. And we're going to start with NASCAR. NASCAR extended the points way deep into October this year. 4 NASCAR late model races on Thursday, Friday night combined.
We're going to do 2 on Thursday night. They're going to be 20-lap features on Thursday night. Bring it back on Friday night, which is a huge night already, and we're going to add in more late model races with 2 more NASCAR late model features. So Oktoberfest and regular La Crosse Speedway fans, if you like to see the NASCAR late models out here, you're going to see them 2 nights. So you got to plan in advance to get those nights off at work or find a babysitter for the kids.
And Nick Murgic, who's going for the track championship, it's not going to be a cakewalk for him. Nick Panitsky is back. Jacob Gady's going to be here. Ty Majeski's running all 4 nights. So those 2 races, or that division by itself with 4 races, is going to be one of the marquees of the weekend.
Yeah, Nick Panitsky, I think this is about the first time this year he's getting into a late model because he's been doing a lot of dirt racing this year. And Ty Majeski, we know what he's been doing all year, and he's finally got a weekend off to come up. And from what he told you, he's going to run everything this weekend.
He's going to be one busy character. One of our guests in the program today, Billy Mohn, going to be doing the same thing here this weekend, running late model and his super late model. Going to Friday. Friday is going to be an always action-packed night, as it normally is.
Yeah, we're going to have the Dick Trickle 99 this year with all the three segment races. We also have the Sportsman, and then that second night of the La Crosse late models with their second and sort of third and fourth 20-lap late model features that night. So big night that night as well.
We moved to Saturday, and something that's really interesting I think is going to really add to the Saturday program. The Midwest Truck Series has been moved to run Saturday. It was announced in the middle of the week that Joey Gase, NASCAR driver, is going to be here in his truck. Brent Kirshner now has a pickup truck as well. That's going to be a highlight of Saturday.
It's going to be a fun truck race, and I got credit to the Wood brothers for really, especially John Wood, who runs the series now, for really turning that series around. He took that series over about 4 or 5 years ago, sat down with all the young drivers and also the veteran drivers, and says, this is how we're going to race this series. We're going to race this nice and clean. We're going to be fair, competitive racing. We're going to have a strict tire rule. We're going to have a strict shock rule. That truck count has doubled, almost tripled since he took over that thing, so expect a high truck count this weekend.
They were averaging almost 26 to 28 every time that they made an appearance at a racetrack this summer. Sunday's program is going to be interesting because obviously we start off with the big autograph session. You've got the 200-lap Oktoberfest, granddaddy of them all. A couple of changes this year. There's no JMAC Big 8 late model race, but for the first time I think in 27 years, CWRA Championship is going to be held here. They're expecting 30 to 35 cars.
I'd say get out here early that day and watch qualifying because that's going to be a huge storyline for going into that 25-lap feature on Sunday afternoon. And you're going to see some great names coming back here. Remember, they were back here this summer, and they ran the week.
And they're already on the schedule for next year.
Already on the schedule for next year, and that would be nice to see Steve Carlson come back and run on a Sunday because a lot of your regular NASCAR late model guys will be able to come back this year and run in the CWRA as well on Sunday. So a lot of names. So you almost have to, if you're a La Crosse Speedway regular, you're going to have to be here almost all 4 nights to see your fan favorites drive this year.
And not only the Upper Midwest Vintage Racing Series is going to be back on Sunday of Oktoberfest, The new Dairyland Vintage Series is going to be racing here on Sunday as well. They're a totally separate vintage racing series. And one of the biggest things about that is going to be Terry Firkus rebuilt another Dick Trickle car, throwback car, and Rich Bickle is going to be running the Vintage Series on Sunday.
I don't know who's going to be more emotional watching that car come around the track, the fans who love that car with Trickle,
I think it's going to be Rich.
Bickle behind the wheel himself, just like we saw with Tom Ruffner a couple years ago.
If you've seen him on social media, I mean, Dick Trickle, it was his mentor. It was the one that he looked up to. And, I mean, if you go back when we were at the Dick Trickle Memorial last year, he spent $5,000 on that door that he said is going in his bar with no other racing memorabilia. I think Rich is, as soon as he gets in, I mean, every TV camera that's here should be focused on him getting in so he can just savor that.
And he also said, too, again, I say this again because he said this a few years ago, that this is his last full season of racing. So this will probably be the last time you'll have a chance to see that veteran driver come to Oktoberfest. If you see him at the autograph session, walk up to him saying, Trickle Bickle Show, and watch him just smile.
And of course, we're inside. We're talking about what's going on inside. So much in 2 minutes.
Goodness.
I don't even think we can mention it all that goes on outside of this track.
Let's see. We can do the pet costume parade, pancake breakfast every Sunday.
Pumpkin coloring contest.
Pumpkin color contest.
Bean bags twice.
Yeah, cornhole contest.
Racers reunion up there in turn 4.
Let's see what else we got here. You can come and see us on Saturday. We'll do a live radio show on Saturday. All the fun concession stands going on. Queen's Apple, pork chop sandwiches.
50-50. OJ is going to be back.
OJ's back. Awesome. I can't wait to see him. Let's see what else is going on.
I do have to mention
Rick Wilson's birthday party.
Saturday, we're going to do like we normally do. We're going to do the radio and TV show live. And this year, we're going to do it from the J&O Collectibles tent on Sellers Row. So that's going to be kind of cool. Jamie Hurd and Peter Niekirk, longtime supporters of the radio and the TV program, and that's going to be kind of neat.
And they got some unique stuff, so make sure if you're at the grounds and come in early and check out that stuff because he has some real unique products you want, especially if you're a Minnesota fan.
And then keep on our Facebook page, the Seven Rivers Racing Facebook page. We've already posted it once. We're going to post it several times throughout Oktoberfest on when the races are being replayed. And you're going to want to watch those dates because a lot of people will sit back. I think it goes into November 1st, I think.
Oh, my goodness.
People can watch everything on here that goes on here on TV from the comforts of their own home.
They have to be here first to watch it in person.
Yes.
Because
racing is not good on TV.
Watch it,
you got to be here to experience it.
You got to have all 5 senses involved in order to do this.
Well, when you show Knights of Thunder, though, I mean, that's a good recap. A lot of drivers use that as a teaching tool to watch what happened.
Yeah. And they have a veteran host, too.
I just can't watch racing on TV. I want to be here at the track. I
think so, too. We got some drivers we need to interview. I think we better go to break.
Billy Mohn, super late model driver. He's going to come up next on KQEG TV.
Want to keep your employees happy? Buy them all lunch. Hi, Jerry here at Big Boar Barbecue. We cater lunches all the time for businesses big and small, 10 to 500. We can handle it. Give us a call and we'll help you figure out a great menu. Let's face it, good people are hard to find, so we can help you keep the ones you got. My grandpa used to say, you want to keep someone happy? Feed them barbecue. Big Boar Barbecue, Highway 16 West Salem.
Just come on down for the best food in town at Big Boar Barbecue.
And online at BigBoarBBQ.com.
American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is built to a higher standard, so you can focus on the problems in your life that really actually matter. Like figuring out which remote turns the TV on, or the smell in the vegetable crisper that in no way can be vegetables, or finding your phone when you leave it on vibrate. Whatever you're worrying about, it won't be this. American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, built to a higher standard.
Welcome back, Seven Rivers Racing, KQEG TV from the 51st Annual Oktoberfest Race Weekend. I am the voice, Dan Deicher. Along with me is Kevin Ramsell, longtime ARCA Midwest Tour PR Director. Good to have Kevin back on the scene. Billy was a little under the weather this week, and, I think Paul the Penguin's still slinging fries.
Yeah, he's working the drive-thru today. We went by.
So instead of Paul, we found this guy who I thought was loading up a golf cart with snacks for me. But Billy Mohn says, nope, this is mine for the entire weekend. Of course, you recognize him from the La Crosse Speedway this year. He turned this into his home track for the La Crosse late models. And Billy, welcome to the program. Welcome to Fest.
Thanks. Good weather, and hope it stays like this all week.
This is, I just said it like 10 minutes ago. We were talking to Derek Crosse. I'm like, I don't even know where I am right now. I don't think we've done a TV show down here with this kind of weather in, what, 7, 8 years?
5, 6, 7, 8 years, yeah, since the last time when we did. Here we had we had director's chairs back then, but, budget cuts because of COVID and everything.
Yeah, we have to stand.
Yeah.
So let's go back. We've had you on the radio show this year and the first time on TV. When did you make the decision in 2020 to call La Crosse Speedway home?
We really didn't make the decision until, I'd say, probably late June or something like that. Just, it was fun, and when something's fun, you just keep doing it.
And, of course, he did a great job out here. I mean, a lot of people, you remember him from his ARCA days.
Yeah, ARCA Midwest Tour, ran solid with ARCA Midwest Tour. I remember, well, hello. I remember we had a great time at Jefferson Speedway over Memorial Day weekend. And just talk about running the ARCA Midwest Tour, because you're going to be kind of coming back to race with him this weekend.
Yeah, you definitely learn a lot running those guys. That is the best of the best you can get. And anytime you can run near the top 5 or in the top 5 with those guys is pretty cool, at least for our program, and hopefully we can get back at it this weekend. We'll have a big learning curve, but have not run the Super all year, so hopefully it'll be fun.
And one thing I think about right off the bat is because Billy ran out here and ran successful. I mean, each weekend he was getting better and learning more. Do you feel that you may have an advantage over some on the field on Sunday for the 200 lapper because of the seat time you got here this year?
You could say that maybe initially, but those guys are so good, it doesn't matter where they go. They're the best of the best, and there's a reason they run that tour all the time.
Of course, you picked a great year to come out and run full-time at La Crosse. Nick Mergic just doing his thing. Jacob Gady doing his thing. Steve Carlson, Steve Bachman. This was a great field of late models for you to get involved with this year.
Yeah, I was pretty surprised. It was our first time with a limited late model, and the competition's been really good. I think there's, probably at least 10, 12 cars every night that can win. And for a weekly deal, I think that's pretty neat to have that many competitive cars, good cars, and 20-plus cars every night. It's pretty impressive.
And let's focus on this weekend, because we're going to see your car 3 times, but only you behind the wheel 2 times this weekend.
Yeah, we'll have a busy weekend with the 4 La Crosse features with that car, and then we're going to have the Super out all 3 or 4 days, however many. So I'll run the Trickle 99 and then the 200 with the ARCA stuff, and then we'll throw Chris Merrick in on Thursday and see if he can do a little bit too and have a little fun, and maybe I can learn something too.
Chris Merrick's going to be running the Futures race on Thursday night. You're going to be running the 4 features, which is going to be a neat addition for this year, Oktoberfest. What's your thoughts about that?
I guess we just go for it, fun, you can't think about anything else. You can't worry about wrecking stuff and worry about tomorrow. You got to worry about today, and we'll just see what happens, and hopefully everyone can keep the fenders on it and have fun.
Yeah, looking at the Dick Trickle 99, what is the driver's strategy going into that race? Because you're running 3 33-lap races, and you're not trying to win every race. You're trying to get the lowest amount possible. What goes through yours and your team's mind throughout that whole race?
I was lucky enough to battle for the lead last year with Casey Johnson in the second segment, and we raced really hard. And my big take out of that was just race your butt off all 3 segments.
As a racer, and I was going to bring up Casey Johnson's name when you guys battled like that last year, how much more does that make you race when you've got a guy like Dalton Zier, Casey Johnson, Jacob Gady, Ty Majeski, and you guys are just door-to-door like that?
It's definitely fun. You can go race hard with everybody, and you can know you're not going to wreck each other. You got a little trust in each other, and that makes it for an exciting time.
And you got to figure with names like that, these guys are out here to win. They don't want to get their stuff junked and have to watch races behind the wall.
Right. They come here to mean business. They come here to win, that's for sure, and they show up with their A games. So we got to work our butt off to try and keep up with them.
Talk about the success you've had here at Oktoberfest in the past, and what it would mean to you, not only to win. I mean, you're going to run 4 La Crosse late model races in just 2 nights to get things kick-started. You could find yourself down here at the front straightaway many times.
Let's hope. We're just, every time I pull on the racetrack, we hope for top 5s and see what comes from that, and try and stay consistent and run up front is kind of the goal.
Did you think, and Kevin, did you think that all of a sudden here we are at the 51st annual Oktoberfest, and Billy Mohn's name is now being thrown in there as a big contender with lacrosse late models and then beyond throughout the weekend.
He's a very big surprise for the weekend, and I think you've really shown the progression and things like that. We were joking before we were walking over, talking about we're racing at Jefferson Speedway a couple years ago. I think you were so a little surprised how you finished in that race, but that's one of those tracks, and lacrosse can always be one of those tracks. You got to be consistent at every lap in order to be there at the finish.
Yeah, it's you know, that's a big thing. I think I'm okay at not overdriving my stuff and saving it, and that's a big thing here. You slip and slide around on those weekly late model tires and just not overdriving it's a huge deal. And so I guess it could work into my strategy a little bit, and still got to be good at the end of the day.
Billy Mohn's going to be doing a lot of racing here at the La Crosse Speedway for Oktoberfest. He's going to run 4 times with lacrosse late models, and then he's going to bring up the super late model as well. He's been a great guy here the entire season. The fans have really started to pick up on him. Got about a minute left in this segment. Talk about your sponsors that have really helped you get here for the annual Oktoberfest.
Yeah, we had Country Joe Homes come on, and they helped out with some tire money and got us another trailer to haul our car down here. So that was pretty big, and every friends and family that are coming down, take care of the kids while we're here, and it's still a family deal. So we still got that going on outside of racing. So friends and family and crew, and that's what makes us go.
And that crew is going to be working awfully hard this weekend.
Yeah, if I paid them, I could say they earn their money, but I don't pay them. So.
That's what that box of snacks was for.
Yeah.
If that's how it is, you're announcing it. I'm eating with him down here.
Can we borrow a couple bags to take up with us? Yeah, in the tower.
Billy Mohn, super late model driver, going to be putting a lot of laps down here at the La Crosse Speedway for the 51st annual Oktoberfest Race Weekend. We appreciate you coming on, man, and good luck.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Have a good time this weekend.
All right, more to come from the 51st annual Oktoberfest Race Weekend next on KQEG TV.
You want barbecue, but she doesn't? What do? Hi, Jerry here at Big Boar Barbecue. We know not everyone wants barbecue. That's why we feature so much more, like our fried chicken, Philly steak sandwich, meatloaf, great burgers, salads, wraps, and more. So keep peace in the family, stop in and try something from our extensive menu. It's so much cheaper than a divorce. Big Boar and more, Highway 16 West Salem.
Just come on down for the best food in town at Big Boar Barbecue.
Yeah, it's a mouthful.
American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is built to a higher standard, so you can focus on the problems in your life that really actually matter. Like figuring out which remote turns the TV on, or the smell in the vegetable crisper that in no way can be vegetables, or finding your phone when you leave it on vibrate. Whatever you're worrying about, it won't be this. American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, built to a higher standard.
Welcome back, Seven Rivers Racing KQEG TV. I'm Dan Deicher. That is Kevin Ramsell. Getting ready to close up shop here in a little bit. We're going to run practice today and then going to be on the microphone for quite a bit this weekend for the 51st annual Oktoberfest Race Weekend. A guy that a lot of people were hoping that was going to be back this weekend, especially for the big race on Sunday, going to join us right now, and that would be Gabe Sommer. Gabe, how are you?
Doing good. How about you?
I'm fantastic, man. The sun is out. It's actually warm. We're not down here freezing. You don't have mud on your shoes. And it's Oktoberfest. Got to feel good to be back.
Yeah, it's always great to come back to Oktoberfest, especially on a weekend like this. Hopefully you can run good and just have a good weekend.
You've had a real solid season coming into Oktoberfest. So you're almost like like a modern day here again. How many second place finishes do you have so far this year?
I think we finished second 5 or 6 times. And
oh my goodness.
We've been really close, and we got one win at Jefferson earlier this year, and I think we're just right there on being able to win each race we go to.
And if you probably had another lap at Dells Raceway Park for the Joe Shear Classic, you might have had a chance to take Johnny Sauter on that last lap if we watch that in-car video from that great race.
Yeah, that was a great race. I think maybe a couple more laps we might have had him there. We've had really good cars every time we've gone to the track this year, and just the consistency has been really high, and hopefully we can have that this weekend.
Talking with Gabe Summers for our local race fans here that don't know much about you. Give us kind of your background on racing in the past all the way up till today.
Yeah, so I started Bandoleros for 2 years. Then I ran the Midwest Truck Series for 2 years, and this is my 3rd year in the late model. Last year we had Rookie of the Year in the Midwest Tour, and this year we're running for the points. On Sunday we're a few points behind Casey for the lead, and maybe we can have a good battle for the lead here.
And I was going to say, man, that's going to be one of the highlights of not only having that 200-lap race. That point battle is going to be a tough one, but it's not going to be a wreck fest. You're looking at 3 or 4 guys right now. They're going to race awfully clean and awfully hard on Sunday because they know those points are right there.
Yeah, there's a lot of good racers in the tour. Guys like Casey Johnson, you can race door to door with them and just lap after lap and never make contact. It's really fun. There's just the experience that all the drivers have in the tour is just really high, and it's a lot of fun to race with those guys.
And you've already made a big name for yourself in the ARCA Midwest Tour last year by winning the prestigious Larry Deachin Memorial at Stakes Park Speedway. Again, that was a race that was not easy for you to go after because you had some wily veteran chasing you and bumping you all over the track during that entire race.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun to race with Richie Bickle there and all the other guys. That track is a lot of fun. It's got a lot of characteristics, and to be able to get that win and be able to put the name on the plaque means a lot.
What's on your agenda for this weekend here at Oktoberfest?
We're going to be running the Futures tomorrow night, Dick Trickle 99 on Friday, and Sunday we're going to be running the 200-lapper.
So you're involved in 3 of what I would say would be 3 of the biggest marquee races here this weekend. Besides winning Sunday, because everybody wants that, out of the Futures and the Dick Trickle, which one would you like to be able to walk out of the Speedway with and have the trophy?
All of them. I would like to win them all.
I was hoping you were going to answer like that. But the block of cheese is cool, though. I mean, that's always nice to have. But to be able to win something that's got Dick Trickle's name associated, to me, would be way cool.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of cars in that race, and if we could get a win, that'd be great.
Talk about looking past this year. Of course, you get a lot of racing to do this weekend. Are you going to be back on the tour next year? What are you looking at?
Yeah, I think we're going to run the tour next year. We're going to be going to Nashville here in a little bit, and then the Snowball Derby and a few other races down south this winter, and hopefully we'll have a good off winter this year.
And that's one of the things I like is when you get a guy from this area in the Midwest that heads down south to take on New Smyrna and take on these bigger tracks. Greg McCarn's had a great tweet coming out this week saying, hey, we're going to fill the grandstands with pedigree drivers like this, not guys that are 15 years old with a lot of money. It's got to feel good that you're not in that position that when you take off to New Smyrna, you're being looked at with a pedigree.
Yeah, that feels really good to be able to be like that, not just a guy that hops in the seat and just – I do a lot of work in the shop, and hopefully it's going to pay off here this weekend.
And that is a true family-owned and family-ran race team, isn't it?
Yeah, and we help me and Chris work in the shop all the time.
Your brother Chris, right?
No, my crew chief Chris,
yeah.
And then Max, my dad, and Danny. Everybody just helps out in the shop there, and we get the cars to the track each and every week the best of our ability, and we run as hard as we can.
I saw you had 2 race cars there, so you got one for the run one for the Trickle, and we'll have one specific for the 200 then as well?
We're going to have one car for tomorrow and Friday, and then on Sunday we'll have the Chevy.
When you're out roaming around the pits, I mean, you get look at a day like this where the pit gates are opening up, people are bringing haulers in. Who do you kind of chum around with? Who do you kind of look for guidance and camaraderie?
I like to talk to guys, Danny Frederickson and Casey Johnson and those guys. I like to talk to those guys. They got a lot of great tips, and maybe they'll be able to help you out a little bit here and there with the car and where to run on the track and just help us out throughout the day.
With the Midwest Tour, and especially on Sunday, who do you like to race with? I mean, who do you want on your bumper? Who do you want side by side?
Anybody that's going to give me a hard run is pretty much what I look for.
Billy Mohn part 2 right there.
Exactly, yeah, it sounds like it. So what's it mean to you just to be at Oktoberfest?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Just all the people that are here and all the cars. There's going to be a ton of cars here to be able to race against. Guys that you don't really get to race against much other places. And qualifying is going to be one of the bigger things here. There's going to be a ton of cars to qualify in with. And if we can make it in the show by time each night, that's going to be a really big plus.
And that's going to kind of give you a little momentum builder going to Nashville for the All-American 400 and especially the Snowball Derby, where that's probably the toughest field to get in by time.
Yeah, that'll get us ready kind of for that. And it's just be able to get better on sticker tires and qualifying. That's really big to be able to get in these big shows.
Gabe Sommer is going to be doing a lot of putting down rubber here this weekend all the way through. Can't wait to see what he's got in store. And of course, he's getting himself geared up for the big one on Sunday. Talk about your sponsors that got you here.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Allied Cooperative, Wysocki Produce Farms, Quick Trip, all my guys, everybody that helps out in the shop and gets the cars to the track each and every week.
All right, Gabe Summers. Do want to remind you folks, we're going to be showing live qualifying Friday and Saturday on KQEG TV, KQEGTV.com. So make sure you tune in. You're going to see if this guy can actually Friday and Saturday get in by time, because that makes it a lot easier of a weekend to be able to qualify and then have to go through qualifying races. Yeah, the tire bill as well. All right, that's going to do it for the program. They're going to be practicing here in a little bit, and we're going to head up on the tower, get some things figured out, as we are just getting ready to kickstart the 51st annual Oktoberfest Race Weekend. For Kevin Ramsell, I'm Dan Deicher, Jesse, and Rick behind the camera. I want to thank Gabe Summers and Billy Mohn for joining us on Seven Rivers Racing.
You've been watching Seven Rivers Racing on KQEG TV with Dan the Voice Deicher, Billy Doc Niles, and Paul the Statman Riker. Brought to you by Big Boar Barbecue, Highway 16 West Salem. Big Boar Barbecue, now that's a mouthful. By Carey Heating and Air Conditioning, your residential specialist, serving the La Crosse area since 1929. Carey Heating and Air Conditioning. Thanks for watching Seven Rivers Racing on KQEG TV.
Want to keep your employees happy? Buy them all lunch. Hi, Jerry here at Big Boar Barbecue. We cater lunches all the time for businesses big and small, 10 to 500. We can handle it. Give us a call and we'll help you figure out a great menu. Let's face it, good people are hard to find, so we can help you keep the ones you got. My grandpa used to say, you want to keep someone happy? Feed them barbecue. Big Boar Barbecue, Highway 16 West Salem.
Just come on down for the best food in town at Big Boar Barbecue.
And online at BigBoarBBQ.com.